Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your Week 6 Monday Morning Breakfast Bite. Now, I know we have a lot going on this week because you have your team project deliverable too. There's the light at the end of the tunnel because you're in Week 6 now and you just have a couple of weeks left and you get to breathe a sigh of relief. So, with that said, though, this week you have your another current event evaluation for your discussion forum. You have quiz 3 to complete, and you have the team project deliverable. So, I want you to go ahead, please, and govern your time accordingly. And remember that your team assignments I placed in the team materials folder as far as your scenario for the deliverable too. So take a look at that folder, please, so that you don't miss it. And hopefully everybody's had an opportunity to take a look at it and you've gotten started with your team or touched base with your team about it. Now, with that said, make sure that if at all possible, you're going to be getting with your team and getting with me if you have any questions regarding the fact scenario or the directions. But as far as the directions, do take a look in the team materials folder. We're going to look in that right now. And just make sure that you go ahead and follow the project instructions, which are at the top of the team project materials folder. Hypothetical scenario you've done, so we're going down to part 2. Remember, I do want you to use APA formatting as far as paragraph structure is concerned and as far as making sure that you do have proper citations in the rationale section, which is the only section really where you'll have citations required. But they're not going to be citations from books. They're actually going to be citations either to case law or to federal statutes or state statutes or whatever it is you're utilizing for your sources with regard to your research that you completed. Now, take a look at the Lexis video so you know how to go about doing the research and how you can actually look up information with regard to keywords and how you access keywords and look at keywords via the Lexis database. That is your best source because it is our legal database, and so it gives you the best opportunity to find the information and find it right there at your fingertips. Now, remember that cases are a great source of information because not only do you get case law from it, common law, case law, but you'll also learn information about the statutes that may apply. You will have a better understanding if your case is an ADA, which is the Americans with Disability Act's case, or if your case is an employment discrimination case, which is a Title VII case, or if your case has to do with hostile work environment or sexual harassment or any of those things. You will get a great understanding of that area of law just by reading a case or two that has facts that are similar to your scenario. So when you are punching in information and keywords to try and find case law on the subject, you want to make sure you look at keywords and think about the keywords that you've learned from the class. You cannot use the textbook as a citation for legal purposes, but you can use it as guidance on how to go about researching the topic and getting keywords from that research, from that textbook to put into the Lexis database. So you're going to be creating this document just as you did your individual term project. The difference is you're either representing the plaintiff or you're representing the defendant. Now, with that said, when you're representing the plaintiff, you're looking at it from the plaintiff's perspective on the best case that you can present. So, in the holding section, you're going to actually provide the holding you want the court to reach. Your rationale you want to think of as your closing argument. What's the best case that argument you can make to support your position? Remember, you have to provide the law and explain the law and how the facts do apply to the law so that the court or jury, as it would be, would rule in your favor. From the defense standpoint, you're looking at how can I best attack the plaintiff's case? How can I best poke holes in the plaintiff's case? What is my best argument? This is the holding I want the court to reach, but you have to make sure that you can support your holding with whatever law you've come up with to in fact say, no, the plaintiff made this argument, but this argument isn't supported by the facts. because the law actually says X. Or if we look at this aspect of the law, it doesn't apply. So you're looking at it from two divergent standpoints. And while you're not the judge, that's how you want the judge to hold. Now, in the last two sections, number 6 and number 7, what you're looking at is what's your opinion just about the whole situation and how it transpired. And then in number 7, you're looking at what could I do if I'm the CEO or COO, or we're attacking this situation as the board of directors to come up with organizational changes we can implement, we can structurally implement to make sure this situation doesn't happen again. So when you look at number 7, I want an actual implementation plan. Not a lot. It doesn't have to be 1, 2, 3 suggestions on how you can improve your organizational structure so this type of situation doesn't happen again. Because remember, every time you're dealing with a legal situation like this, whether you're the plaintiff or the defendant, you're taking time, effort, money, resources away from networking, away from building your business, away from what you need to do to focus on, which is your business, in order to deal with this other situation that's arisen. So you want to try and look at everything whenever you're going through this from that standpoint. Okay, enough said about that. So now going back to the course materials. Once again, I know we do have some subject matter to look at today. Business formation. So we're looking at business formation today. And I want you, when you think about business formation, think about the broad aspects of business formation. Because you could be a sole proprietorship, not what you generally want to do unless you know you're always just going to have a small practice, a small little accounting firm, a small a medical firm, something of that nature, but it's generally going to be service oriented when you talk about a sole practitioner or a sole practice. Partnerships are okay if you're starting out and you don't know where you're going, and again, you're going to keep it small. But if you're looking at the big picture and how I'm going to grow and expand, you're going to be looking at either a corporation or an LLC, and I always recommend a corporation over an LLC. Too many issues can transpire with an LLC. Easiest way to form is a corporation, and you get so many benefits and so much protection from a corporation. So when you look at the materials this week and you're studying the materials this week, think about that. You always want to think ahead and how you can protect yourself personally and your assets and your family from any type of financial liability or otherwise. So when we're looking at business formation, that's what we're talking about. Now, with corporations, you do have a lot that you have to address with regard to accountability issues, but that really shouldn't be a problem if you're dotting all your I's and crossing all your T's. All right, you guys have a great week 6. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me.